Well, I think it was common, but there was also regional variation. You mentioned the Dura Europos Church, and I think now I'm not an archaeologist specifically, but I think that's a good example of a house that's converted into a church, right? And so there are there's some good art there, early Christian art. But to answer your question, I mean, I always tell my students that, especially if you grow up in the Protestant world, they tell you that the early Christians had only two sacraments: baptism and Holy Communion or Eucharist. And I say, well, A, that's not true, and B, even so, each of those two sacraments was two in one. So with the Eucharist was confession. You would never go to receive the Eucharist without first confessing your sins, and that could happen in different ways, but Eucharist and confession were kind of like one thing. In the same way, baptism and what you're calling chrismation or confirmation were one thing.